What was the dumbest thing you ever did to try and impress a girl or guy? I lied and said I had experience in journalism because I didn't think we'd have anything except a brief encounter, when I'd actually only taken one class in college. Our first date he took me with to report on a local clash between police and citizens and I got tear-gassed and robbed. This takes the cake. And the wallet. Signed up for a French class in high school because a girl I like was in one. Turns out she was into me too, but my D signed up for French 1 when she was already in it, and the following year she was in French 2 and I was sitting all alone in French 1 in a class 1 didn't care about. Getting up from the bleachers to play PE dodgeball, I tried to pull my sweatpants off while yelling, "Let's do this." Ended up yanking off everything, boxers and all. Bold. Can't locate the post, but on a similar post a guy commented that in elementary school he liked a girl with glasses, and didn't want her to feel like an outcast, so he would come home from school every day and stare right into a light bulb to try to damage his eyes and need glasses. In elementary school when I walked by this girl I liked I would pretend to chew gum and crack my knuckles cause I thought I'd look cool. Jesus. I bet this kid could carry so many folding chairs at once. I was the first high schooler she knew who got my license. I drove us to hang out with friends of hers. Mostly guy friends, I guess she was trying to date one of them. I tried to jump through a swing. The plan was to go headfirst through, do a somersault on the other side, and look super cool. I smoked my face on the wooden seat. I intentionally threw multiple games of Uno to let a girl think she was amazing at the game. I memorized the complete poetical works of Robert Frost. Did a backflip from a tree about 5 feet up. Landed it, but the ground was slippery, and I used my hands to catch me falling backwards, and broke my wrist. 10th grade me, you were AF moron. I mean, landing it at all is still pretty badass though. If you put a strike anywhere match into a straw and blowdart it onto the sidewalk it makes a pop and lights where it hits, so I fired them all around my crush's feet. It scared her and my plan failed lol. Damn it, where am I gonna get a strike anywhere match this time of night? Got a tattoo to impress a girl in my psych class. It did nothing and now I have a piece of S-piece by a guy named Philly Steve on my leg forever. Call me if you see this, Ashley. Told some girl I liked in 7th grade that a kid pushed me down the bleachers to elicit sympathy. The kicker is that she was there when it would have happened. She did not believe me LMAO. Also the same girl I asked out while knowing she had a boyfriend. I was a 12-year-old. Learned how to rap Crack a Bottle by Eminem. When I showed him I could, he only knew the clean version and I knew the actual dirty version. Sat through a marathon of the first 4 Twilight movies. Got into a downhill snowball fight while skiing at 30 miles per hour. Hit some ice and shattered my tibia. Learned all the words to Sir Mix-a-Lot's Baby Got Back. Take up smoking in high school. Didn't get the guy and it took 15 years for me to quit smoking. Haven't been a smoker for almost 7 years now. Quitting smoking was one of the hardest things I have done. I feel this is my soul. I started smoking to impress this girl and 10 years later I still smoke. Hands down one of the dumbest thing I've done to impress anyone. I won a Fear Factor contest at a local festival completely randomly. She dared me to sign up and I did it on a whim. Ran into a busy road and picked up a hedgehog. Wasn't run over, but my hands stung for a week. I wore her super small hoodie a whole school day that also had a really strong perfume smell. Even got genuinely pissed at my friend when he jokingly tried to take it from me. Can you please explain the events that led to this? Tried to backflip from a 5 meters diving board. There was no flipping involved, just me falling on my back into a pool from 5 meters high. Didn't feel good, don't know which one was more bruised, my back or my ego. As a platform diver I think you actually have to try harder to not flip than flip. Kudos. Well, when I first got with my now husband I wanted a change so I dyed my hair jet black. I'm very, very white. I don't know why, but I used the boxed dye on my eyebrows too. I looked like AF freak and I thought it was so cute and he'd love it. What the F is wrong with me? I'm also a very white girl and I'm pretty sure when we're young we all make this mistake at least once. I tried to do a front flip off a trampoline and land on the ground on my feet, but ended up doing 1.5 front flips and landing on my face. Embarrassing to admit, but the only time I truly tried to impress a girl was in primary school when I was about 10 or 11. I would swear when she was near and always gave the impression I didn't give AF. Backfired though, she just ended up thinking I had anger and behavioral issues. Stab my leg with a kitchen knife. We are gonna need some more info on this. Sat next to a girl I really liked in high school calc. She would get upset because I'd get A's on tests and she kept getting C's. She cared a lot about grades, so I tried to be comforting, saying it's a hard class, I have a lot of lucky guesses, etc. She was having none of it. So I decided to get a C on purpose on the next test. We got them back and I was all excited to show her, but she got hers back and she failed. Like below 50% failed. She wasn't impressed with my C and neither were my parents. Tried to raise her scooter down the steepest hill around. Crashed into the back of a funeral hearse and shattered the back window. There was a body inside and the family was outside waiting to either go to the cemetery or take the coffin inside. I got up, covered in blood and glass, grabbed my scooter and hobbled away to the nearest alleyway. Oh no. I was about 9 and I was super into Pokemon, thought the boy I liked was into it too. I tried to impress him by constantly spouting Pokemon facts at him. Turns out he wasn't into it at all and he thought I had autism. Got my nipple pierced. Ended up watching 13 Reasons Why because she said it was like the best show ever. P.S. It wasn't. In elementary school, I was somewhat of a ladies' man. One time at lunch, I thought, hey, maybe if I shove this straw up my nose, all the girls will think it's funny. Then proceeded to do so. 10 seconds later, there was blood all over my food because of a bloody nose and I had to be escorted to the nurse. Had to see a specialist for a few months afterwards. Lesson learned. She was one of my roommates. We were moving out of our house. I had my pack all loaded up. She asked where I was going and I didn't have anywhere to go really. So I did the smart thing and said I was hitchhiking to Mexico and she was invited. We were together for about 16 years. I was in New Zealand, was going to a beach party with some girls from the hostel I was staying at. To get to the party, you needed to take a $2 ferry across this inlet which was about 1 kilometer wide. I decided to swim it, to impress the ladies. About halfway through I realize that I'm slowly being swept out to sea and I'm losing strength. I'm not sure how, but eventually I made it to the other shore, about 100 meters away from the pier. The ferry had docked about 2 to 3 minutes before me, and I just nonchalantly walked over to meet the girls, as if I hadn't swum against a current to near exhaustion and was swept out to sea. Good side, it worked and I ended up hooking up with one of the ladies. Bad side, the $2 was for a round trip, and I still had to pay $2 to get back once the party was over. Bad side, the $2 was for a round trip, and I still had to pay $2 to get back once the party was over. This makes it perfect. I pretended to like going to church, joined the youth group band and got baptized. I had a huge crush on her lol. She ended up going to prom with me then never talked to me again. I was flirting in class and I asked what school she went to. So you come here often? You have been outsmarted by the smart doggo of intelligence. Subscribe to Update Reddit to gain +3 Ys from Doggo of Intelligence.